Hey sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the love and support you all showing me here with I am grateful. You all are super sweet. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about AIPAC, what they are doing right now. Like I made some videos already how they are working so hard to remove the squad, the black people and the people of color in Congress, right? As it stands, they already, they made a video especially to talk about them and to let people know that if you are not for AIPAC or if you are anti-Israel, that you are going down the drain. So this is not something they are hiding already, because this video was very precise about their plans. And to my greatest surprise, I see a lot of people saying thanks to AIPAC for what they gave. You all know that they have the money. I know they came with the money. I know they are giving out a lot of money. And if you do not, either you accept or you do not accept, and then you are leaving. So I do not see how this is happening under United States. Now I am asking, does it mean that, US is now being run by AIPAC? Because for somebody to have this power, this whole power, to come into Congress and determine who stays and who leaves. And as it stands, the black people and every other people are they will get rid of them. Let's just get into this video.
Hey family, I want to show you a video. And when you're done, please jump in my comment section and tell me your thoughts. But don't stop there. Go over to their page and take a look at exactly who they support. And then, if you have some time on your hands, count how many they support. And then drop that number right in the comment section for me. Because I know I did. I counted. Yep. And family, remember something. We are stronger together. And there's nothing we can't do as long as we remain united. I love you. Ashe.
Congress is pro-Israel, but a new threat is on the rise. Small in numbers, but loud in reach, anti-Israel members of Congress are trying to destroy our partnership with Israel.
Israel has violated basic human rights.
We must condition aid to Israel and end the apartheid.
They are willing to tank their own party's agenda to block funding for Iron Dome, and they're not done. They're running anti-Israel candidates across the country, trying to grow their squad. And so, we must grow stronger. AIPAC has launched a new political strategy that requires a dramatic increase in resources to be successful. We support pro-Israel candidates for Congress and defeat anti-Israel candidates. And so far, our strategy is working. In this election cycle, AIPAC members have changed the course of campaigns. We have given pro-Israel candidates the resources they need to win. We launched a super PAC, taking the political fight to those who work to undermine the U.S.-Israel relationship. Because of our work, more pro-Israel candidates won. More anti-Israel candidates lost.
I want to thank AIPAC in particular.
Thank you, AIPAC. Thanks for AIPAC for everything that you continue to do.
In an uncertain world, we understand what is at stake. Together, we are ensuring the U.S.-Israel relationship remains strong. Together, we are working to keep Congress pro-Israel. But our fight is not over. And our work has just begun.
Did y'all hear about this? Did y'all hear about this? Did y'all hear about this? How every single congressman except for one, and it was a Republican that actually voted against it. But let's look at this resolution. And yeah, look at all these so-called progressives that voted on this, that voted yes. AOC. Let's look at this. Let's look at it. Let's look at what House Resolution 888, should be 666, is. Claims that anti-Zionism is equivalent to anti-Semitism. Claims broadly that all Jewish people, regardless of nationality, are indigenous to the land of Palestine. Claims that the European genocide of Jewish people in the Holocaust provided new urgency to establish a settler colony and dispossess the people of Palestine. Resolves to support the Zionist entity's right to exist. Rejects calls for the establishment of Palestinian sovereignty over the land. And condemns the Palestinian resistance. The American Congress just passed this. What do y'all think? What do you all think about this? Everything that we are fighting so hard for the Palestinians, and Congress votes 412-1. Yeah, read that. Did y'all hear about this? Did y'all hear about this?
They assign to this country's hate. This country has not changed. Maybe if you see me with my blue eyes and my pale skin, you will listen to me. We have to break the system because it doesn't work for us. It never did. All it did was make the individuals who want to continue to control us. They have won on making sure we hate each other and not them. If we do not do something, there won't be an America worth fighting for. And our kids don't deserve that. We never been free. We might not be getting bombs dropped on us like the Palestinians, but we were never free. What is it that you don't understand? The day they unalived Eric Hampton, a real revolutionary who just wanted to stand up for his community and his people, and they tore him apart. They tore our revolution apart. We were never the same after that. No. And now you know why. The Israelis are afraid of Black American youth because we've been fighting ever since. Freedom for Palestine is freedom for all of us. God help us with all of these dictators that want to keep us in oppression. The world needs to stand up and tell all of them, not just America, but Putin and China and Iran and all of the nations that stand to oppress the people. Freedom is coming for all of us.
So for those of you who don't know, Israel basically has continued to further push their propaganda in addition to their wallets, and forcing the United States to push Resolution 888. Now, this happened last night where Senate had an emergency meeting stating that Israel has the right to defend itself. From what I have no fucking clue, because from what we've seen, Israel has been at the center of every single genocide on this earth. And I feel like they know that everyone is comparing notes and that people of color are all now banding together and realizing, hey, they're the problem. And if they did not exist, we wouldn't have 99% of the problems that we all have currently. I'm not saying that these other countries are actively making plans to get rid of Israel. But what I am saying is that Israel does not exist and it's not an actual country. It's an occupation. They have colonized Palestine. They are a succubus. They are that bad bacteria, the staph infection you get that pretty much kills you from the inside out. That's Israel. Basically, wherever they go, whatever they touch, they literally plague the lands, rob it for its resources, suck it and bleed it dry, and then completely destroy the entire lands. I mean, from top to bottom. They destroy everything they touch. You know how in the Bible it says that they had the one king and everything he touched turned to gold? Well, the exact opposite of that is Israel. So in the United States Senate last night, Resolution 888 was passed stating that they are able to defend themselves. I'm guessing because they just showed those senators the video footage of what happened on October 7th, but those senators never once considered looking at both perspectives. And I'm guessing the reason why they agreed on Resolution 888 is because Israel either lined their pockets or there's something going on. So we're going to be paying very close attention to these senators, their financial records, how they move in the future, because it's not adding up to me. There's sufficient evidence stating that Israel was the aggressor on October the 7th, and that Israel has been the aggressor since 1948, since the Nakba of 1948. In addition to that, they are literally using children as human shields, and our own Senate does not care. If they are willing to do that over there, just imagine what they'll do on American soil. You get what I'm saying? And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, the only way that they could have gotten these politicians is by threatening them, is by ensuring that these politicians know that if they don't comply, then something worse, far worse, is going to happen here in America. And I would just like to let y'all know that your voice is no longer the power. Your voice is powerful. It is the power, but your money is even more powerful. If there's ever been a time for you to keep your money in your pockets and to not shop, not work, not do anything, just to sit still and allow this American economy to literally crumble right before their eyes, now would be the time, because we see the future written all over the walls. We see where this is heading. We know what they're doing, and our senators, the people we elected to represent us, have then gone against us and the entire world and stated that Israel has a right to defend itself, when we have seen live footage of what Israel has been doing to the Palestinians. We've watched them doing it live and in action. They laughed about it in our faces and then went back and tried to lie about it, to which we've debunked their lies. And their own media sources that they're paying started parting ways with them, because they're like, oh, like, babe, this is bad. Like, We see that you're the aggressor. And now they're waving their checkbook around and trying to flip the scene. Not only that, Elon Musk is over there in Israel, and they're trying to come up with new intricate ways of being able to basically try and alter the images that have already been put out and say that all the images that have been coming from Hamas's side is nothing but AI, when we've already proven that it's not AI coming from Hamas's side, because we've seen it live and in action and on video. What they didn't know is that a few of their soldiers were actually on live on Instagram and on TikTok and didn't realize it at the time, because people were secretly recording what they were doing. In addition to that, they had that embarrassing moment, which we will never forget, about how they quote unquote found Hamas under Al-Shifa hospital a little over two weeks ago. Under Under 2 weeks ago. Under Al-Shifa hospital, they have yet to find Hamas. They have yet to be successful with a ground invasion. They have yet to secure that natural gas. They have yet to secure any sufficient evidence to prove their findings. They have yet to prove that Hamas started what happened on October 7th. And in fact, we found out later after that happened that Israel was the one that killed their own civilians at that festival. In addition to that, the festival was supposed to end the day before that situation happened. The festival was supposed to end on October 6th. They were warned by several high-ranking security officers from several different countries not to extend that concert one more day, because they knew that there was an opportunity where their own civilians and their own patrons would be put at risk for their safety. They knew that, and they did it on purpose, and then came back and shot them, killed their own civilians, and now they're using their money to try and get into America. Because of what? Because they know America is the one that's leading this regime on down with Israel, because of what they're doing to Palestine. America, wake up. We cannot just sit here and say that we're just going to boycott on Black Friday. Buckle in. We in this for the long haul. We will watch this country go down in flames if that's what you want. We got to stand on business. Because at the end of the day, our ancestors put their blood, sweat, and tears into this country. And how dare these nasty, stinking politicians come back and try to force us and strong arm us into siding with Israel. We will never side with Israel. We will never be a part of Israel. And we will never, ever, ever trust these people that are in office right now. If anything, we need to dissolve the current government that we have right now, because they are dangerous. They are allowing those babies to get blown to bits. These are the same people that will sell their own kids limb from limb just for an extra buck. Because that's basically what they did. You put your own children and your own kin's life at risk just for a buck. Shame on you. Shame on Resolution 888. They do not have the right to defend themselves, because quite literally they're the ones that's causing the terror. Israel is the terrorizers. They're terrorizing everyone. It's no reason why these people can be in several different other countries, paying other countries to cause genocide to the indigenous people there, and then go back and say that they have the right to defend themselves. You feel that heat on the back of your neck is what's going on. And passing Resolution 888 was a power move. They're trying to prove to the rest of the world that if they attack Israel or the United States, and they'll be met by the army of the United States. I'm here to tell you, baby, we don't have nobody going into that army. Do what y'all need to do. Do what y'all need to do. Because we don't agree with Israel. We don't agree with the American government. And we damn sure don't agree with no fuck-ass Resolution 888. Israel is not a country. It is not a country. It is not a country. And we don't agree with Israel.
The House of Representatives has just voted to make any critiquing of Israel anti-Semitic. So if you are not alarmed, or you think your representatives represent you, wake up. Now, the resolution is specifically called House Resolution 888. So, number one, this resolution affirms the state of Israel's right to exist. Number two, it recognizes that denying Israel's right to exist is a form of anti-Semitism. Number three, rejects calls for Israel's destruction and the elimination of the only Jewish state. And four, condemns the Hamas-led terrorist attack on Israel. You guys, 412 House of Representatives voted yes. Representative Mike Lawler, a New York Republican who introduced the resolution, is quoted saying, "I'm proud that 210 Republicans and 202 Democrats set aside our differences and came together to show support for our closest ally in the Middle East." This passage of the resolution also comes as Congress is working to pass an aid package to Israel and after censuring the only Palestinian American Congresswoman, Rashida Tlaib.
Remember when AOC was on here begging everyone to call the offices and their representatives for ceasefire? This is what she voted for, by the way. All the so-called progressives, this is what they all voted for.
Can someone explain to me again what the definition of anti-Semitism is? Because the definition of a Semite also includes Arab people. So this bill, or this resolution 888, specifically says that denying Israel's right to exist would be considered anti-Semitic. So then with that same logic, wouldn't denying Palestine's right to exist also be considered anti-Semitic? Or does Semitism only apply when it refers to people who are of European ethnicity? So it just further proves that the bill, our government, and most European governments are racist. This resolution is so full of loopholes and like ass backwards logic that I couldn't imagine anyone taking this seriously. It still doesn't take away the fact that all Israelis are settlers. They are occupiers. And that's still illegal under international law. Just because the United States says it's not doesn't mean it isn't. And this is only a bill. It's not law yet, so everyone still has time to fight it. But at the end of the day, I don't think it matters. Our government has already told us who they are and who they're going to be. So trying to fight laws is just a huge waste of time. They want you to divert your attention from fighting for Palestinian freedom to fighting a stupid bill with a million loopholes. And also just like inaccurate verbiage and definitions. Don't get distracted by this. It's very easy for them to have you start marching against a bill that's not a law instead of continuing to march against this war that Israel has declared on the people and civilians of Palestine.
A few days ago, Congress passed a resolution which basically equates anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. And all Congress members, except for one person, did not vote in favor of it. And when I say all, yes, that includes AOC, Ilhan Omar, and all these cutesy people in the US Congress that are all about identity politics and optics and claiming they stand for these very amazing leftist radical ideas, which they don't, by the way, and they never have. Them agreeing to pass such a resolution, them voting in favor of it, is not something very unexpected. They've always had those beliefs. They claim to be very different, but the only thing that's different about them is their skin color. But we are in an age where identity politics really needs to go. We need to start using our critical thinking. What I've learned in the past 2 months especially is that they all stand for the same things that Republicans stand for. They pretend that Democrats are very different, but let what's happening in Palestine be a sign for you that just because someone shares the same skin color or background as you doesn't mean that they will stand for the same values and morals and things that you believe in and that you want them to stand for. And Americans, I hope, are waking up to how this is used just to get their votes and to get them, very emotional. It's an emotional moment. And we have this first black president, Obama. And what is Obama? He is a war criminal, a huge war criminal. Obama is not different from Donald Trump. He is not different from George Bush. He is not different from Biden, just because he has a different skin color. And I think it's prime time that we all realize this and that we all accept it and that we all start supporting people who have our same values, regardless of your skin color. Palestine needs to unite people when it comes to this whole identity politics and these skirmishes that all these parties in the US keep us busy with. But when it comes to something real, when it comes to a genocide, when it comes to the most horrific thing that's ever happened to human history, they are silent. And not only are they silent, they are endorsing Israel. They are endorsing Israel's right to exist as an occupying power. And they are also telling us that anti-Zionism equals anti-Semitism, when Jewish people themselves, from all skin colors, from all backgrounds, are telling them that that is not the case.
So in what I would call a completely unnecessary and punitive turn of events, Congress decided to vote 412. I think it might have even been 414 to 1 to distort history and equate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. Hey there, besties. Okay, so, I had every intention of getting on here and talking about this really dope viral unbrush thing that I found in the TikTok shop, because if you look at my hair, you know that I need something like this. But then I saw this. On first glance, I definitely was freaked out by this, but what is worth mentioning is House resolutions, I don't want to say they don't mean anything, but it's not like a bill or a law or anything that's enforceable necessarily. It's something that the House typically does when they essentially just want to sort of endorse something, show moral support, that sort of thing. Essentially, it's just a vote to say, like, hey, we all agree about this. So Rashida Tlaib actually chose to just vote present for this measure, which, to be honest, I don't really blame her. I mean, after the whole, getting censored thing and just everything else going on, I'm sure it's just fucking exhausting being there with all these monsters. But this was the only person to vote no, and here's his reasoning, which to me kind of completely sucks ass. Like, bro isn't even in disagreement about the core issue of everything that's going on. He's just, like, caught on some of the verbiage. And I mean, fine, like, okay, bare minimum, like, really, really bare, like, bars, in the dirt type shit, like, fine. Like, yes, it's good that one person stood up and said, hey, we can't equate these two things. But, I think when you look at the fact that, like, people like AOC and Bernie Sanders and all these other people that are supposed to be, like, these, like, super dope, like, progressive fucking people, are just staying silent or, doing this whole both sidesism type shit or whatever, then, like, this type of stuff, this type of rhetoric that's just, like, mid is fucking worthless and is dangerous because it just maintains the status quo. And, like, we know that. Democrats, that's their whole thing. But, now, I highly encourage everyone to go read about the resolution and, like, read the exact language of it. But essentially, it completely dismisses the rights of Palestinians to the land. It just emboldens and enables the genocide that's happening now and, further uses the genocide of the Jewish people during the Holocaust as justification for everything that's happening now. But here are some of Rashida Tlaib's statements, as to, her thoughts on the bill. If you want to read this, please pause and do so. And this is from a Fox News article, which is crazy to me so I've been looking everywhere for info on this, and I've barely been able to find anything. I mean, this just happened Tuesday, but I've barely been able to find much of anything. But I found more on Fox News about this than, like, so many other outlets. It's, like, it's kind of insane. And I'm the type of girly, like, I'm buried in my phone, I'm buried in the news. I've been, like, really keeping up on all this stuff, so it's kind of insane that I didn't hear about this till just now, which, I don't know, maybe it's some fucking media suppression shit, whatever. Anyway, here's a statement by Within Our Lifetime Palestine on Instagram. This is who I initially heard about this from. Definitely encourage you to pause this, read it, and highly, highly encourage you to go follow them on that app. So what does all this tell us? Well, we all know that our government has basically been fucking bought, right? Like, we all know this at this point. I don't think it's very clear to a lot of people the extent to which this has happened. I mean, everyone knows about AIPAC, but I think people should be aware there are lots and lots of other lobbyist groups that are pro-Israel. I think there's about 36 in total, maybe more now. that are donating to politicians, which makes it a lot harder to track where all this money is and going. I would highly recommend people go check out websites like Open Secrets and things like that if they want to learn more about that stuff. There's a really great creator I follow called Cancel This Clothing Company. It has a lot of really informative resources on his profile. What I think is important to mention too, though, is beyond the money, there's other elements to this. And there's another creator that used to be on this app, whose name I won't mention for fear of, fucking reprisals or whatever. But I am just gonna put a video of his at the end of this because he can explain it better than I can. So just watch this, and if you feel like it, watch till the end. There's maybe a little something else, but interact with all these buttons too. Do your thing, whatever. We have to keep staying vigilant. We have to stay active. We have to stay connected, and that's what's most important. So I highly encourage you to engage with all of the content you see about this subject. Follow people, even if you just don't follow them later, like that sort of thing. Like, we need to just trick the algorithm to boost these sort of things. So, comment your favorite ice cream flavor, maybe some travel tips, talk about, how great my hair is, do whatever in the comments, but just leave something positive, so that we can get this to more people and try to get more people on the same page, right? But yeah, here's the video I was talking about.
Now a lot of people are talking about this one thing about Resolution 888. This last section right here is more open-ended than you think. The second bullet point in particular is what I'm talking about. I'm talking an abundance of interpretations from people of power who could do something about it, weaponizing that discretion to push the craziest of agendas. You thought the Congress censorship and social media bans were bad? Just wait and see how gritty you could get off of this point. The mere suggestion that Palestine should be going through a genocide.
So this is all I got from this video, and sincerely speaking, I don't even know what to say, because it's just very sad that United States is watching AIPAC come into the, I don't know how they penetrated into, I don't know, because it looks like, Israel has a lot of upper hands in United States, because they are making it look like, they own United States, because I don't see how this is happening, and now it is now them telling you that being pro-Palestine or is now being considered anti-Israel. And but I thought that any country that violates human rights should be called out, which people are calling out Israel on how they are violating human rights. How is all this anti-Semitic, or how is this anti-Zionist or anti-Israel? Like, I really just do not, I don't understand if I'm saying it, but I just really do not understand all this going on right now. It really sucks. Now, as we all can see that AIPAC is working so hard to get rid. I already talked about this, that they are working so hard to get rid of the squad. But as it stands now, they already, it is already, I feel like they have that power to get rid of them, because from the first video you watched, you can see or hear them saying that if you are not pro-Israel, that you are anti-Israel, and that they are going to get rid of you. And you can also hear them say that the squad is what they are working so hard on to get rid of them, because they are anti-Israel. And I am asking, how is it that coming out to speak about what is going on is now being seen as a bad thing? You all can see that, they are investing so much money and investing so much time to make sure that, squad, you saw the picture, and because of that squad, you see all them, they have been Resolution 888, and which other one? I think 541 or something like that. Also 4121 also. So the Congress also already voted for this 412, and the Resolution 888 has already been passed. This really shows how corrupt American government is, and the way AIPAC or whatever they call themselves is going right now. Trust me, even when you are a black person and you are not for them, you are going down straight up. And then from the video, we all saw black people also saying thanks to AIPAC. It means they're already, taking the backpack that comes with AIPAC. Sincerely speaking, I haven't seen. I know there are corruptions, especially the way we see corrupt. They tell us Africans are one of the most corrupt countries in the whole wide world, like they always say, and all that. But what I am seeing right now is beyond corruption, because I don't see how AIPAC I don't know. I feel like make this make sense, or make me understand. Is AIPAC now controlling what is going on in the United States? Let me understand. Woo! See you all in my next video. Bye for now.